who benefited from this Emancipation Day celebration. So definitely the youth benefited from seeing it. The people, it was good for them to see royalty. Not apart from that, just getting together and celebrating their ancestors, celebrating the future, celebrating where we are and where we're going to get into. All of that was cool, right? But here's the thing I want to point out as well. Right here, you have the sponsors. You have the sponsors of Emancipation Day celebration. And right now I'm using the one in Trinidad, right? I'm sure it's the case with all of them. All these organizations that are not owned by locals, who are the sponsors? So they are the ones sponsoring the culture that we claim to love so much, right? But there need to be a time, because we have to realize by them doing that, they have the ears of the politicians, right? So that is why when they come to your country and say, hey, you need to accept this type of, this new thing, new behavior into your culture, you can't say much, because they saw you having a great time. They saw you having a great time, and they see that you are dependent on their money. So it's only a matter of time before they get what they want, because they're going to put a lot of pressure on the politicians. And them and the politicians had that conversation, right? So again, that's why the politicians is in a unique position, and we have to realize that. But if we can galvanize not only on one island but all throughout, everybody get on the same sheet of music like we once were, then we can start having some impact. And again, and also people who travel abroad, we have to start investing. They have to start investing back into their community, back into their culture. Now, I say none of them do. I'm sure people do, but we're going to have to do it at a greater scale. We're going to have to do it at a greater scale, because I believe right now where we are at, they have us in a place where we are comfortable. You know, we are comfortable because we have everything taken care of for us for the most part. We go get a job. Once our youths finish school, they go work for someone else to work on someone else's vision and to advance their grip on our society. Right? So these organizations here, you have Retail Service Limited, NLICB, Digicel, Massey Foundation, and there's another one over here, something foundation. I could not see too well. But here are the people, the founders of all those organizations that invested in the Emancipation Day celebration down there in Trinidad and Tobago. And again, this is not a knock on Trinidad and Tobago at all. Right? Trinidad and Tobago did great. They set an example. They set the bar pretty high on celebrating the emancipation. However, we got to get to the point where we are able to finance ourselves and take care of our own. Okay, so the first guy on the left side, he's Bob Rico, right? And he came out of New Jersey, and there were some brothers, and they started a heating business, and they continued with the family tradition. They continued with the family tradition in the 50s and 60s, when many people in the U.S. still wasn't living too well, right? Next to him, you had Dennis O'Brien. Dennis O'Brien, he was a billionaire, and he was the founder of Digicel. So we're keeping his legacy alive by depending on them, because they are making that big bucks, the money from it. They're sponsoring it, but they're also making all that money back. On the upper right corner, you have Hart Massey, and he's a Canadian businessman. He's a philanthropist, and also it was a family business as well. It was a family. He was a member of the prominent Massey family. He was an industrialist, and he built agriculture equipment firm and became the Massey Ferguson. That became Massey Ferguson, and now part of AGCO. And then on the bottom right, far right, have the Chinese Corporation that started the business here at the end, Logo Foundation or something like that, right? It had to do with gambling and different things of sort. So they are the ones sponsoring and they are the one taking over. And as you see, the numbers are getting higher and higher and higher as we move out of the Caribbean islands. They move in. Now this one, I want to talk about this one. Here is the event that happened on the 31st where they talked about business, and this took place at the Hilton Hotel. And here is the founder of the Hilton Hotel, Conrad Hilton, and here is his family. They are the ones who benefit from us using the hotels. So as you see, they allow you to do your practices and so forth, but they are the one who benefit from this function. Yep, they are the one who benefit from it. So these are things we need to work on. We need to be aware of them. Be aware of them is nothing to be upset about. I mean, that's cool. People are helping out. That's all means, by all means. But we have to work on getting to a point where we are able to fund our own stuff.